Hello, my people. Good day to you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for tuning in every single day to listen to me on Daily Mind Shift. My name is Michael Ujuola for Mindset Transformation Africa, and on today's episode, I want to ask some questions and discuss a particular question that I read somewhere. I think I should bring that to you as value. Let me anchor today's episode on this question or statement. The question, what am I going to do, will be answered when you decide who am I going to be and who do I want to be. The question, what am I going to do, will be answered when you decide who am I going to be and who do I want to be. That is what I want us to talk about for some couple of minutes. What am I going to do? I believe that is the question of action, of your next steps, of selecting a path forward. But here is what most people don't realize, that question will always be answered by another set of questions first. Number one is, who am I going to be? And who do I want to be? That is what I want us to shift our mind about today. The moment your character becomes unstable, every decision becomes a swipe at your emotions instead of a choice from your core, from your principles, from your value system. See, let me set this straight. If your character is not stable, if you don't know how you want to be or who you want to be, every small decision becomes a mood-driven decision. All right? When you are exhausted, you will skip the workout. When you are angry or you are pained by something, you will lash out in the moment. When you are stressed, you will binge rather than build something. When you are uncertain, you will postpone rather than pursue. When you don't decide who you want to be first, your emotions will do it for you. And emotion-driven decisions always lead you somewhere you did not intend to end up. See, we are all familiar with to-do lists. These are tasks that tell us what to do today or every single day. But we really make a to-be list, a list of character traits that we want to embody. Do I want to be the kind of person who keeps going when it is hard? Do I want to be someone known for generosity? Do I want to be the kind of parent, spouse, friend, or co-worker who shows up when I am tired? Do I want to be brave, self-controlled, consistent? See, this is not poem. This is not poetic. It is practical. If you decide who you want to be, what you are going to do becomes clearer and they become consistent. Let me paint a quick picture here. If, for example, your goal is to run a full marathon in a year, you have two options, right? The first one is you wake up tired and you don't decide ahead, you just negotiate. Maybe tomorrow you do 0 miles today. You wait for motivation. Or you have another option, which is the option B. You've decided, I am a disciplined person. I am someone who wins commitment over comfort. I am the type of person who shows up even when they are tired. So what do? You wake up and your decisions happen because you already know who you decided to be. You do your 3 miles, no negotiation. That is exactly what I mean. Who you choose to be in advance makes what you do no longer up for grabs, no longer up for debate. See, the problem is when you let your feelings call the shots, and that is the danger zone. If you don't decide who you will be when you are tired, when you're sad, when you are distracted, your feelings will always decide for you. And feelings are not stable executives. They are not stable CEOs. They are emotional interns. They are emotional specialists who say, sleep more, go and watch some Netflix or some TikTok. Chill a little bit. You've tried. Chill a little bit. See, stability in your feelings is always going to be rare. But stability in character, that is possible. If you decide on it, it is possible. See, who you are shapes your decisions, not the other way around. who you are shapes your decisions. We often think we do something, then we become something. I will work out more this week and then I will be fit. I will read more this week, then I'll be disciplined. But the truth is, who you decide to be first directly steers what you do next. I am disciplined. So today I run even though I don't feel like it. I am the type of person who cares deeply. So today I listen before I respond. I'm a person who keeps my word, right? So today I show up for my promise even when nobody else cares. See, when your being is decided in advance, doing becomes a matter of consistent follow through. That's how it is. See, you will never outgrow your identity. You will only prove it. That's how life works. You don't outgrow your identity by what you do. You define it by what you do consistently. If you act like a consistent person for 1 week, that is not identity. But if you repeat that for months, it becomes who you are. So decide you are the type of person who keeps showing up, then keep showing up. Your identity doesn't change overnight, but one choice at a time, your doing proves who you are becoming. See, do you want transformation? But life happens. Do you understand? That's how life is. You want the transformation, but life happens. Maybe you are exhausted from late night work. All right. Maybe the kids have been sick. Maybe the pressure is high and energy is low. This is where defining who you are is critical. So you ask yourself, who am I today, despite how I feel? Am I the kind of person who wins fatigue over comfort? Am I the kind of person who honors commitments to myself? Am I the kind of person who still supports other people even when I'm drained myself? Decide, all right? And then you act according to that character, even if the vibe doesn't really match. That is what is called integrity. That is integrity at scale. This world is full of chaos. Your character can be a stronghold in this particular world that is full of chaotic things. Feelings come and go. Motivation will ebb and will flow. Desires will shift. But your character, your decided identity, anchors you, especially when the wind of life is picking up. All right? If you are consistently deciding to be the person you want to be, your actions will follow, even when your feelings don't follow. And that is personal power. See, I want you to envision, to see tomorrow, two versions of you, right? One who let feelings dictate their decisions, who did or did not do things based on how they felt moment to moment, or the other one who said, I don't always feel like it, but I am someone who shows up anyway. Which version do you think will get ahead? Which version wakes up with pride, with purpose, and momentum? Your character decision today builds your tomorrow's narrative. Do not ever forget that. See, we all fall into autopilot. That endless loop of what feels good now or what is easy now, that is a default system built on fragile emotions, which is why we choose to reprogram. Choose ahead what kind of person that you will be. Say it out loud. Own that type of person. Because default reactions did not make this particular you. Intentional choices over years, over time, will be the one that will remake you. See, your life, I want you to think of life like moving on the water, moving on the ocean. The conditions on the water, the waves, the wind, the fog, they are your feelings and your circumstances. Your character is your compass. It doesn't change when the terrain does. It always points to the north. If you rely on conditions, which are your feelings, your energy, your mood, you will drift. You will get lost. But if you rely on character, you will stay true to yourself and you will definitely get home. Ask it again. What am I going to do? And let the answer come from your pre-decided, who do I want to be? Decide your character, then act from it, even when conditions don't feel right. Instability, decisions become clear, even when your feelings are not. So, I want you to write these two statements down before you end your day. Who I choose to be tomorrow,
what I will do tomorrow based on who I choose to be. Say them out loud when you wake up. Let your character